Just take a moment to arrive in your practice and your seat on your mat. We'll get started here in a moment. So I'm coming at you live from Teasdale, Utah, down near Capitol Reef, and you may have noticed that I've been teaching from here the last few weeks. I've been spending a lot of time down here, and it's been very healing and nourishing for sure for my soul. And one thing that I've been doing down here is we've kind of made a ritual out of watching the sunrise every single morning. And it's interesting because, I mean, not to state the obvious, but it is different every single time. And it's just become this beautiful ritual of waking up with the sun and watching how it brings light to the earth. And I can't get this poem out of my mind, this poem called The Sun by Mary Oliver. And I would love to share it with you this morning. So go ahead and find your seat, close your eyes if that's comfortable, and we'll start with these words by Mary Oliver. Have you ever seen anything in your life more wonderful than the way the sun every evening, relaxed and easy, floats toward the horizon and into the clouds or the hills or the rumpled sea and is gone? And how it slides again out of the blackness every morning on the other side of the world, like a red flower, streaming upward on its heavenly oils, say on a morning in early summer, at its perfect imperial distance. And have you ever felt for anything such wild love? Do you think there is anywhere, in any language, a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed? Or have you too turned from this world? Or have you too gone crazy for power, for things? Do you think there is anywhere in any language a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed? Or have you too turned from this world? Or have you too gone crazy for power, for things? Feeling into your breath this morning, the fullness of the in-breath, the letting go of the out-breath. And spending this next hour or so together really inhabiting the body, and also perhaps feeling a gratitude for the natural world, for the healing qualities, And as you draw your next full breath in, go ahead and extend the arms all the way up alongside the ears, reaching as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of the heart. Good. And do that again. So as you inhale, stretch the arms all the way out and up toward the sky, open. And exhale, hands together at the heart. Good. One more, just like that. Full breath in, stretch it all the way up. And exhale, hands together, heart center. Good. Everybody come forward now to the hands and the knees. And we're going to work a little bit with cat-cow. Okay, so coming forward, moving through the spine. So on your in-breath, a little drop of the belly, a lift of the tailbone, and opening up of the heart. And then on exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, tucking through the tail. And a couple more just like that. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. Good. One more just like that. Inhale. Moving with that flow of the breath. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Make your way back to center, back to neutral. And then tuck the toes under, push with the palms, lift the hips up, coming into your first downward facing dog of practice. And so a little bit of shifting or movement through the feet here if you'd like. Sometimes I like to take my feet a little bit wider in my first down dog of practice, and broadening that base a little bit. And pushing into the ground with the right hand and the left foot. So you kind of get that diagonal stretch in the left hamstrings, the back of the calf muscle, ankle. And then switch it up so you can press into the floor with your left hand and your right foot. This is just an option. This is just something that I like to do right out of the gate. But why don't you take 2 or 3 more breaths here, just stretching and opening up and moving in a way that feels good to your body this morning. Coming back time and time again to your breath. Good. So now on your next exhale, let's bend the knees and look forward, step or hop forward toward your hands. Lengthen out your spine. So you're coming to that halfway lift. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold, and bring it in. Good. Do that movement one more time. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Hang out here in your forward fold for a few breaths. You're welcome to grab a hold of opposite elbows for ragdoll pose, if that suits you. Feeling into the back body here, and as best you can, let go of the neck and the jaw and the face, shoulders. Take one more breath here, maybe sending a cleansing sigh out your mouth. Good, let go of your elbows, grounding your feet. You're going to come all the way up to standing. So press down through your feet, stretch up tall, lift your heart, lift your gaze up. And then exhale, hands together, heart center. Inhale, the arms go back up, stretch up and lengthen. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale, so long and lengthen spine, head to tail. Exhale, fold it back in. Good, all the way back up to standing. So press down through your feet, stretch up, reach tall and open, maybe a little mini back bend. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Good, one more just like that. So moving through some sun salutations. Reach up tall, inhale, create some length along your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Moving with that flow and that pace of your breath. Halfway lift as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, and bring it in a little bit deeper. Good, all the way back up to standing, slow and steady, grounding your feet, stretch up. Maybe going back a little bit more, mini back bend. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Good. Keep this going, everybody. Stretch up tall, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, dive forward, folding it in. Put a little bend in your knees, perhaps, as you fold. Flat back on in-breath, lift and lengthen. And now plant your hands and make your way to plank, upper push-up. And we'll pause here for a few breaths. You are certainly welcome to take this on the knees or downward facing dog if this is feeling aggressive for your shoulders or your wrists. Take another full breath here. And then I'd like for you to just go directly to downward facing dog for a moment. We're going to kind of move through a chaturanga back to down dog. So come back to plank pose, everybody. And then on your next exhale, lower down just halfway to your chaturanga. Hover there. Press back up to your plank. And then go back to your downward facing dog. So hips lift up, chest toward your feet. And let's do that again. So come back to plank pose. So push with your toes, shoulders over wrists and elbows. And then exhale, chaturanga, only halfway, elbows hug in. Press it back up into plank pose. And then hips to sky, back to downward facing dog. Whew. Take a breath. Okay, come back to plank pose. This time we're going to lower all the way down, but slow and steady. So through your chaturanga, all the way down to the belly. Now open up the shoulders, lift the heart for cobra. Stay an extra breath here. A little bit of traction and space along your spine. Downward facing dog. Once again. Good, and just notice what you're starting to cultivate here in the body. A little bit of heat, perhaps. Things starting to open up and warm up a little bit at a time. Take another full breath, lifting up through the tailbone and lengthening the crown of the head a little bit toward the thumbs. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Extend your spine, so halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. All the way back up to standing. So anchor the feet, stretch up, reach tall, lift it open, and exhale. Hands together in front of the heart. Good. Let's flow through one A series sun salutation. So reach up tall, inhale. Go at your own pace. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Take your hands down to the floor, step or hop your way back, moving through your chaturanga. Okay, you can skip it if you'd like. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, you guys. This time in your down dog, we're going to take a little twist. So take your feet back wide, kind of like what we were doing at the beginning of our practice. You might walk your feet up a little bit so you narrow your stance. Press into the floor with your right palm. Take your left hand away and reach around and grab the outside of your right ankle or calf. Push with your right hand to the floor. Pull that right hip back a little bit. Move your chest toward that right side. Take another breath here. Good. And then bring it back to center. And you'll switch hands. So right hand unweights. Bring the right hand to the outside of your left calf or ankle. Push with your left hand to the floor. Pull the left hip back as you open up your chest toward that left side. Keep your breath steady. Good. And bring it back to center. Bring your feet back in so they're about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop forward to the top of your mat. Flat back as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Good. Bend your knees, everybody, and sit into your chair pose. Fire up your legs here and then extend your arms forward and up alongside your ears. Breathe here in your chair. Keep your feet rooted down, the inner and the outer edges of your feet. If you'd prefer here to bend your elbows, creating a goalpost position with your arms, you can do that. Soften the shoulders down. Pull both thighs back. See if you can sit just a little bit deeper. Lift up a little bit more through your chest. 2 more breaths. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Hands toward the floor. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Plant your hands, take a step or hop back. Moving through your chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, stretch your right leg back. Reach it up, long and lengthened, active through the toes. Take an extra breath here, strong and powerful through that right leg. Maybe even lift it up a little higher, 1 more inch. Reach tall. Exhale, pull your right knee in toward your chest and step your foot all the way through, coming into a high lunge or crescent lunge. You're always welcome to bring your hands to your right thigh to start. Square off your hips, lengthen up through your spine and your torso, and then send your arms up. Good, and just as we did in our chair pose, you can start to bend your elbows and open up your chest more. An option to bend your back knee a little bit at a hover. 2 more breaths here. Good. Now, straighten up that back leg, reach the arms up. As you exhale, arms are going to come down and back along our sides, leaning forward. Now, you might float this back leg up for a little balance, warrior 3 balance, just for a breath or 2. And then set your left foot back, take your arms back up for your high lunge. And we're going to try that a couple more times. So exhale, arms down and back, lean forward. Maybe that back leg floats up. And back to your lunge. Good, take your time. We're going to do 1 more of those. Exhale. Arms down, float this back leg up, find your balance, back to your high lunge, and then exhale, hands down. Good, step that right foot back to plank pose. Pause here. Shift your weight now into your right hand, your right palm. Let's come to side plank. Dasana. Hips up, open the chest. Send your left arm forward alongside your ear. Maybe look at that left hand. Maybe float that left leg up. Find your version of this pose. Dasana, side plank. Good, you guys, bring it back. High plank position. Your choice, down dog or chaturanga. come down to your knees. Find a neutral spine. So feel that connection to your core, that toning of the belly. Send your right arm forward and your left leg back behind you. Feeling into this spinal balance. So notice your breath. Notice the quality and the presence of your breath, the position of your spine, the position of your shoulders and your hips. Want to keep things pretty neutral here. As you continue to reach the right fingertips forward and push the left leg back. Take one more breath here, solid and strong. Now as you exhale, we're going to pull right elbow toward the left knee, coming into a little crunch. Inhale, stretch it back out. Good. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach it back out. Good. One more of these as slowly, as deliberately as you can. Pull it in, connect core. There's no rush. Reach it back out. Good. Now, bend your left leg. Reach the right hand back. Grab a hold of the foot if you can. If not, just reach the right arm back just the same. If you've got a hold of the foot, kick into the right hand, hug the right shoulder back, push the left hand into the floor, and lift up through the heart and through the sternum. 2 more breaths here. Good. Release, re-extend the arm and the leg. Come back to all fours. Take your knees a little wider and send your left arm out and up. Open through the chest and thread the needle. So we're going to take that left arm underneath the right for a few breaths. Good. One more breath here. Let's unwind out of that. Take your left arm back out, stretch it up, and bring the left hand back to the ground. Awesome, you guys. All right, downward facing dog. So hands press down, hips lift up. Get your bearings here. Feel your steadiness and your ease. And as you're ready, the left leg will extend back, behind, and up to a 3-legged down dog. We're going to take our time here. Powerful through your left leg. Push the ground with your hands. Strong core, strong belly. Maybe float that left leg up a little higher. Be patient with it. Feel each breath. And then exhale, hug your left knee in toward your chest. And step your foot all the way through, coming into your high lunge or crescent lunge. Maybe you start with the hands on the left thigh, square off the hips, torso upright. Send your arms up alongside your ears and breathe here. Feel the ground through your feet as you create a little more space. And then we're going to bend the elbows, goal posting the arms here to let the shoulders relax down the back. Maybe bend your back knee at a hover, and we'll give this a couple more breaths here. Good. Now straighten up that back leg, reach up tall. We're going to do this warrior 3 transition. So arms come down along sides. Lengthen the crown forward. Maybe float this back leg up, coming into warrior 3. Arms reach back along your sides. Step your right foot back into your high lunge. Just steady your balance here. Reach the arms up. And we're going to try that a couple more times. So exhale, arms down. Float this back leg up. Power through that left leg. And then step it back, high lunge. Awesome, you guys. Let's do that one more time. Play with your balance here, experiment, explore, and then back to your high lunge. Reaching up. Now, hands come down. Step your way to plank. Shift your weight towards your left hand. Roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Send the right arm up. Side plank or Vashisthasana. Pull hips high. Maybe send that right arm forward. Stretch through the side body. Maybe float your right leg up. Last breath here, you guys. All the way back to plank, down dog, or move through your chaturanga. Good. Come down to your knees. Find neutral spine. Connect to your core. And keep your shoulders and your hips pretty neutral and level. Send your left arm forward and your right leg back behind you. Spinal balance. So as neutral as you can keep your spine, toning at the belly, and reaching the left fingertips forward and pushing that right leg back. Pull it as far apart as you can while still hugging toward that midline. Take one more breath here. Your next exhale, pull left elbow toward the right knee. Come into a little crunch. And slowly extend back out. Exhale, pull it in. Try to maintain that stability. And inhale, back out. Let's do this one more time. Exhale, hug it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch back out. Bend your right leg. Take the left hand back. Maybe grab your foot with the hand. Kick into the hand. Pull the foot and the toes up, shoulder back, open through your chest. 2 more breaths here. Good. And release out of that. Re-extend the arm and the leg. Bring the left hand and right knee back. Take your knees a little wider on your yoga mat. And then your right arm reaches out and up. Good. Thread the needle. So that right arm underneath your left. Good. Take one more breath here. Come out of that. Send your right arm back out. Reach up tall. Good. And right hand back to the mat. Nice job, you guys. Okay, downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Hips up. Send your right leg back with control, steadiness, and ease. Bend your right leg. Lift your hip up without shifting your shoulders. Open up the hip a little bit here. Maybe the left heel moves closer to the floor. Step your right foot through. High lunge. Bend your elbows. Open your chest. So kind of revisiting this thing, not for long, just a little pass through. Stretch arms back up. Exhale, arms down, coming into your warrior 3. Balance, lifting up that back leg. Good. Step your left foot back. Take your arms back up. And now you're going to ground your back heel and open to warrior 2. So take your time finding your feet rooting down into the floor. Shoulders back, maybe a little opening up of the palms. Even out your hips and your pelvis, and see if you can distribute your weight equally between your feet. So notice if you're pushing more into your right foot, really root down strongly through your left foot as well. Take another breath. Exhale, drop your arms. Clasp your hands behind your back. Setting up for Ostrich Pose. So open up your shoulders, knuckles down, and then exhale, start to pull your thighs back as you dive forward, right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. Good. Keep your breath steady. Now, if this is funky for your knee or your shoulders, you can always just bring your hands down to the ground. Stay for a couple more breaths here. Good. Now make your way back up. Re-extend the arms. Warrior two pose. Turn the right palm up and let's reach backwards, reverse warrior. So lots of options for this. You can take the left hand to the hip. You can wrap your left arm behind your back, fingertips toward the right inner thigh. Continue to lengthen through that right thigh, knee forward and reach back. 2 more breaths. Good. Now come back up to warrior two and take your right elbow towards your right knee for side angle pose. Parsvakonasana. Send your left arm forward alongside your ear. So you're really lengthening through the left side body. You can keep your arm as it is, or maybe bring your right hand down to the inside of the foot. You could even work into a bind here. There's no pressure to do that, but you could take that left arm behind the back. Strong through your core and your legs. Drop your right arm down and maybe clasp. So this is pretty similar to Ostrich Pose, right? But we're now have the arm wrapped underneath the right leg, the right thigh. 2 more breaths. Open up the chest a little bit here. Good. Now, come back up to warrior two. Before you bail on me here, straighten up your right leg. Woo! Maybe heel toe the back foot forward for triangle. So extend the right arm and the fingertips forward. Let's take it down, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand down, left arm stretches up. Good. Feel your breath here. Broaden your wingspan. Right fingertips to left fingertips. And see if you might open up your left shoulder a little bit. Turning the heart more open. Good. Couple more breaths here in triangle pose. Perfect. Now left hand to left hip, setting up for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So pick up this back leg, and this is a lot of poses on this right side, but feel into this standing balance. Right fingertips on the floor or maybe on a block, sending the left arm up. Breathe here. Good. Try to get that left shoulder stacked over your right and the left hip stacked over your right. Nice job, you guys. 2 more breaths. Reach through your left toes, open it up, and bring your left hand back down. Step that left foot back to the very back of your mat. Plant your left hand underneath the left shoulder and send your right arm up for a twisting lunge. Now, if you would like to, You could ground your back knee, okay, and have a little more stability here. Now, if you want to take this up a notch, keep your legs really fired up. Take your left hand away from the mat. Bring the left elbow to the outside of your right knee and come into a prayer twist. Or you could spread the arms out with your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Really strong through your core here, you guys. Take another cleansing breath, maybe sigh out your mouth. Good. Unwind out of that. Let's walk the hands all the way over toward the left side of the mat. So you're coming into a wide straddle. Feet parallel. Flat back as you inhale, so lengthen out your spine. And then exhale, fold. Deep, deep breath here in Prasarita Padottanasana, this wide straddle, forward fold. You might feel for Uddiyana Bandha here at the very bottom of your exhale, the navel pulling back toward the spine. Good. Take one more deep breath. And let's come to a flat back, lengthen. Take the hands back up toward the top of your mat. Step to plank, or you could even keep that right leg up. Three-legged plank for a little extra challenge. Lower down chaturanga or three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, open up to cobra or up dog, and then downward facing dog. Good, you guys. All right, one side done. We're gonna come down to the knees and take dolphin pose in between sides. So come down to your forearms. So your elbows just drop down right underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart. The forearms might stay parallel, or you could clasp your hands, making a tripod. Let your head go, let your neck relax. And you're gonna really feel into the ground through the hands, pads the fingers, forearms and elbows, float your knees off of the mat, connect to your core, and then pull your hips up. So think about your shoulder blades wrapping around toward your armpits. The neck is relaxed. You could easily shake your head no or nod your head yes here in dolphin. So you're not like squeezing your upper trapezius and your shoulders towards your ears. Now, you can tiptoe forward a little bit here if you want. Really feel for Uddiyana Bandha here in your dolphin. That navel lock, belly lifting in and up. Think about literally your belly button pulling you up and back. And breathe here. The elbows are coming out wide, just keep them squeezing in. Imagine hugging your forearms around a beach ball or something. Your head is not on the mat. Let's give this about 3 more full breaths. Dolphin pose, strong and steady. Good, you guys, and then as you're ready, knees down and sit on back. Child's pose or embryo. The arms can come back along your sides. Good, let's pause here and just let the body rest. Come back to your breath. Good. Make your way back up, hands and knees. And back to your downward facing dog, hips up. Walk it out a little bit here. Left leg in the air, so we're going to stretch the left leg back, three-legged downward dog. Bend your left leg and turn and open through your hip. Try to keep the shoulders steady. Maybe the right heel moves closer to the floor. Take one more breath here. And step your left foot through for that high lunge or crescent lunge. Take the arms up, torso upright, stand tall and strong. Bend your elbows, maybe bend your back knee, open through your chest, kind of flowing through this first little part. Straighten up the leg, reach the arms up. Warrior three balance, so arms come down along your sides, float this back leg up. Plant that left foot firm and strong to the floor. Step back to your high lunge, and then turn your back heel to the floor and open to warrior two position. Arrange your feet a little bit differently if that is helpful. Shoulders soften down, open up your palms. And so keeping that slight outward rotation of the arms helps to open up the chest and relax the shoulders down the back. And let's check out the distribution of weight between the feet. Notice if you're coming forward a lot, push and root down just as equally with your right foot at the back of your yoga mat. Take another full breath here. Exhale, arms down, clasp your hands behind your back. Stay in that strong lunge, shoulders back, knuckles down, lift up through your chest. Start to pull the thighs back and dive forward into ostrich. Left shoulder toward the inside of that left knee. Keep your breath steady here. As the feet anchor. And again, a reminder, you always have the option of bringing your hands down for a little more support and stability. A couple more breaths here. Good. Now, come back upright. Come back to your warrior two. Turn your left palm up and reach backwards, reverse warrior. Right hand might come to the hip, or maybe you take that arm all the way behind the back, fingertips toward the left inner thigh. Strong in that lunge, you guys. I know that left leg might be feeling something here, but stay with that sensation. Reach that left arm back. Two more full breaths. Where can you create a little more space in your body? Good. Okay, back upright, warrior two. Still in your lunge, left elbow to knee, right arm forward, Parsvakonasana, side angle. Push with your right foot at the back of your mat, stretch through the right arm and the fingertips, lengthening that side body. Maybe your left hand drops down to the floor and the right arm can stretch up. You can stay wherever you'd like, maybe working into your bound side angle, wrapping that left arm and shoulder underneath the leg. Again, similar to ostrich, but now your left arm is wrapped underneath. Couple more breaths here. Feel your legs, engage your core, maybe a little opening up of the chest. Beautiful. Now re-extend, come back up, warrior two, and then straighten up left leg. Maybe heel toe that back foot forward a tiny bit. Triangle, Trikonasana. So reach forward. See if you can maintain that length as you come down. Doesn't matter how far your left hand comes down. Doesn't have to reach the floor or even your shin. Extend your right arm and fingertips up. Spread the arms out wide. Feel into your legs. and your core, even here in your triangle pose. Couple more breaths here. Pull that right shoulder back, open through the chest. And exhale, right hand to right hip. Gaze down, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Lift your back leg up, strong through that standing leg. Using your core, send the right arm and the right fingertips up. Try to stack your right shoulder over your left and your right hip over your left. Couple more breaths here, steadiness and ease. Dig deep, feel your breath. And exhale, right hand down. Step it back to your lunge. Arrange that left knee over the ankle, right hand comes to the ground, and your left arm will stretch up into a twist. Now, right knee can ground or can stay lifted, that's up to you. Stay strong in your legs. Maybe you want to come into that prayer twist variation. You can send the left hand to left thigh, unweight your right hand, hook the right elbow over to left knee, and then open up into this twisting lunge. Couple more breaths here, maybe even spreading through the arms. Your last exhale, so you can send that sigh out your mouth. Wringing it out, and then unwind. Walk the hands all the way over towards your right side, or right side of the mat. So you're in wide straddle again, Prasarita, Padottanasana. Take an inhale and lengthen your spine, and an exhale to fold. Good, a couple more breaths here, let the head go. Keep your feet grounded and anchored. Spinal extension on that in-breath. Let's come to the halfway lift. And then walk the hands back up to the top of the mat. Step your left foot to plank or float your leg, three-legged plank pose. And then lower down, three-legged chaturanga or regular chaturanga. Flow into your cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Good job, guys. All right, come down to your knees. One more dolphin pose. So drop down to your forearms, set it up. Maybe keep the tripod or have your forearms parallel. Let your head and your neck relax. Tuck your toes under, float your knees. Pull up from your waistline, your belly, lift your hips up. Again, maybe tiptoe forward, some toward your face. Shoulder blades wrapping around toward your armpits. Keep your face and your neck relaxed. You can keep it as is or send your right leg up into the air. So coming into this three-legged dolphin. Imagine your leg really hoisting you up, giving this direction. You could even do a little hop or two toward Inshamayurasana, forearm stand. Okay, switch legs, right foot down. If you're working with the leg up, take your left leg up. Strong through that left leg, active through your toes. Again, imagine that left leg hoisting you up a little higher, maybe a couple of hops here. Good. Now left toes to the floor. Now listen carefully. You're going to walk your feet back and drop your pelvis down. So now you're in a Sphinx pose. If you need to kind of readjust your forearms, you can. So Shoulders back, lift, and open up through the chest, pulling the rib cage and the heart forward. Good. Now, release out of that. Bring your belly and your chest all the way down. Take your arms back along your sides. We're going to take Locust Pose. Okay. Inhale, lift, arms and legs up. Now, we're only going to do this one time, but we're going to hold it for a while. If you would like to clasp your hands behind your back and pull shoulders back more, you can do that. You could also choose to bend both legs, grab your feet, and work with Dandasana. Okay, bow pulling. Those are just some options. Otherwise, you can just stick with Locust. Squeeze the shoulder blades toward one another. Doesn't matter how high your legs are, just keep them strong and actively reaching back behind you. Couple more breaths here. Good. Last in-breath, lifting up through the heart and release. Take your right arm out to the right, shoulder pigeon. Left hand to the ground with your elbow pointing up. Push the body over onto its right side. So you're using the floor to stretch the front of the shoulder, your pec muscles on that side, the front of the arm, maybe a little bit through your neck. Good. Ease your way back to your belly. Switch sides. So extend your left arm out and let's push on over. Breathe here. Good. Last full breath. Nice. You guys bring it back to your belly. And press up to your hands and your knees. And make your way to your seat on your mat. And just extend both legs out in front of you. Coming into this Dandasana staff pose. And you can kind of pull the flesh out from underneath you, a little inner spiral through the thigh bones, making our way into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So stretch the arms up, reach up tall, stay strong through your core, try to keep your spine lengthening as the belly pulls back, coming into your forward fold. And once you kind of feel like you've reached your place here, you can start to round a little bit through your spine. Still inviting some length and extension. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Nice. Go ahead and come back up. You can engage your core a little bit. Bring your torso back up. And we're just going to roll down onto our backs. If you need to adjust yourself a little bit on your mat, that's fine. And pull your knees in toward your chest. Massage through the low back. Good. Happy baby pose. Grab your feet, soles of the feet up. A little hip opener here on our backs. Now the back tends to kind of round and come into flexion. See if you can move toward more of a neutral spine here on your back. So lengthening, pulling down through the tailbone and sacrum. Take another breath. Good, and then bring the knees back together, and then both knees can drop over to your right side for a spinal twist, or any supine reclined twist of choice. Last full breath here. Let's bring the knees back up and switch on over, dropping the knees to the left. If you want to realign your hips with your spine, you can do that, shifting your hips a little bit over. In this case, toward the right, as you drop your knees to your left. And once you feel pretty even on each side, let's bring the knees back in and send the legs back out to the floor. Reach the arms up and back. Give a deep lengthen stretch from top to bottom. And then allow the arms to come down as we settle into our final relaxation, corpse pose. Just allowing the body to feel the ground, to release and to surrender any effort or tension in the body. And inviting the body to become increasingly more relaxed with each and every breath. Have you ever seen anything in your life more wonderful than the way the sun every evening, relaxed and easy, floats toward the horizon and into the clouds or the hills or the rumpled sea and is gone? and how it slides again out of the blackness every morning on the other side of the world, like a red flower streaming upward on its heavenly oils, say on a morning in early summer, at its perfect imperial distance. And have you ever felt for anything such wild love? Do you think there is anywhere in any language a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed? Or have you too turned from this world? Or have you too gone crazy for power, for things? Maybe you are in a position to feel the sunlight on your face, or to feel the sunlight warming your body, even here in this moment. And just taking a moment to soak it in and to appreciate this miraculous gift. Whenever you are ready, you can begin that transition, coming out of your corpse pose, maybe shifting over to your side for a few breaths. And then all the way up to your seat. And inhaling the arms up, stretch up tall. And then join the hands together in front of the heart. And deep gratitude for this practice and for the time that you've offered yourself today. We'll finish with one round of Om if you'd like to join in, or you can just listen. Take a full breath in. Namaste.